And welcome back to the pod. Today we're talking about a 21-year-old Dublin defender called Josh O'Brien. No relation to Irish senior international Jake O'Brien. Born in Dublin on the 7th of February 2003, moved with his family at only 10 weeks old to the US. His dad, I believe, moved there for work. He grew up there, could be wrong, but I believe he grew up in, the family settled and he grew up in Seattle. The Seattle area, which is not an expert on geography, but I believe in Washington. He started off in earnest with Crossfire Academy in Seattle up until circa 2019. Then as a 17-year-old he moved to MLS side Seattle Sounders Academy. From 2020 to 21 he joined the high-level development youth side, the Anza force, which we spoke about previously when we did a pod on fellow Irish player Cristiano Fitzgerald. If you want to listen, it was a good while ago now, I think about a year ago. Though Cristiano was there in 2019 and Josh 2020-21, so they didn't cross paths. Obviously the next step for Josh could have been to stay in the US and either go the college route, which is a well respected and smart move, or straight into the MLS, which would have been great as well. Straight into the MLS draft, as he had dealings with Seattle Sounders as well, so he was known in MLS circles. Also being from the area, MLS Sounders would have been a good option as well for the then 18-year-old. There is as well a family history in soccer. His older brother Ethan, who is now 23, who went that route, the college route, playing for between 2019 until March just gone 24 with Notre Dame. Second brother Aaron played with Santa Clara University in California as a goalkeeper. He's also heavily involved in coaching. Now he's a full-time accountant. So it's a route not only that's a smart move, but that's done well by his family. So he has two other brothers as well. I presume they're in football as well. But yeah, it would have been a good move for him. It's obviously worked out well already for his family, and you know, other Irish players have gone from Ireland over to the US to do that route. So you know, it's a smart move. If something changes, an injury or things don't work out in football, you have a college degree. It's always a good idea. But again, he could have gone that route, and he himself was at Washington University temporarily in 2021. Could have stayed on, but he decided to put his studies on hold in 21 and made the brave decision to up sticks and move to the UK, signing with Premier League side Watford in 21 on a 1-year deal. I believe Watford had an option for a second year, and again he was only 18 at the time. He is Irish, but it's not like he was moving from Ireland to England. He was moving from the US, where he grew up from 10 weeks of age. So much bigger move. It's a big move anyway for him to go from Ireland to England, but especially from the US to England. Again, he would have been giving up his comfort zone, family support, his local knowledge in the US, Seattle area, football, his family links to football there. So, you know, you go outside of that, and especially to the other side of the world, it's really a sink or swim in the short term anyway, not having taken the safer bet of a college route and college degree at the end of it. Your safety net is gone. So it's a brave decision, shows where this guy is and was going. It's a proven and safe path, as I said, the college route, and lots of people make it going that route. But by removing that route and going to the other side of the world, you're really showing your intent and commitment to do whatever it takes, determination, singular focus to not maybe succeed, but have razor sharp focus to actually succeed. So in 21 he moves to the Academy of Watford, who, to anyone in the US or somewhere that doesn't know, they're a top UK side, and in the 21-22 season we're in the Premier League, which is one of the best leagues in the world. He stayed at Watford from 21 to 22, the 21-22 season, until he was released in the summer of 22, unfortunately, without making any senior appearances. From there, a lot of people would have decided they tried and gone back to perhaps regroup in familiar surroundings, plan the next step and move on from there. Maybe again go the more tried and tested route of their own league or the college league in the US. But again, to his testament, he stayed in England, moving the same summer to the famous Salford FC and their development squad. Although Salford were at the time in League Two, which is the fourth tier in England, they are owned by the Man United class of '92, including David Beckham and also billionaire Peter Lim. So they're a high profile team in England, and also the world would know all those stars, the six of them: Butts, Scholes, the two Neville brothers, David Beckham, Ryan Giggs. So yeah, they're a famous club, even though they're in the fourth tier. At Salford, as a now 19-year-old, he went on to make his senior professional debut, turning out 4 times in total for them in the 22-23 season, twice in the league, twice in the cup. In December 22, he continued his progress as a pro, went on loan to Telford United, who were in the National League North at the time, which is the 6th tier in England, making 10 appearances in total, all of which were pretty much full 90 minutes, which will always stand to you as a player at any stage starting off, as in the senior game, to get senior minutes. And again, you're in that 6th tier. It's a hard place to be, so you really do learn from that experience, and it brings you on a lot. So Salford, and in the 4th tier, then the 6th tier in England, he's gathering momentum, So from there in the summer he moved to Hamilton Academic in the Scottish League 1, which is the 3rd tier in Scotland, in August 23. That should be on a permanent deal, going on to make 10 appearances in total, which again wasn't a bad turnout for the now 20-year-old, and he would have made more. But on the 1st of February he left Scotland, went back to the US. Opportunity obviously couldn't pass up. Another step up again into first team, into the 2nd tier for a 2nd tier team in the US, Indy 11, and he hasn't really looked back since, starting all but 2 of their games since his arrival, playing week in, week out, becoming an integral part of the team, and he's still only 21. To know Indy is, depending on who you're asking, supposedly a shoe-in for an MLS franchise. So again, it's a very smart move to go there. They're on the cusp of, again, potentially joining the MLS. Is it going to happen or is it not? I don't know. I'm not on the inside track, but again, it's a smart move to go to there, and as I said, an opportunity he wouldn't have been able to pass up. His brother Ethan is also on the books of Indy. He's currently on loan at Huntsville. Indy 2 have just beaten an MLS side in the Cup, Atlanta, in the quarterfinals. So it's clear to see he's at that level, the MLS level. Obviously he would already know that, but it's not for maybe neutral people outside looking in. They'll see, yeah, this guy obviously can compete and excel in the MLS and beyond. So it's a good platform for him to be in, a good environment for him to be in. Also, it's going to highlight him further with scouts in the MLS and beyond, and when he plays again in the next round in the semis, one step away from the final. Wouldn't it be great if Indy got into the final, of course. Internationally, he's also obviously eligible to play for Ireland and the US, but there's no underage caps at all for him at this stage, and underage football is probably gone from now. He's 21, but it's unlikely he's going to go into an under 21 thing now. So it's all eyes on senior football now at club level, and then in hopefully the near future international level. He's also eligible for Germany through his mother. I believe his mother's from Germany. You'd imagine at times on his journey so far, he may have questioned himself and the path he chose, the routes he took, but clearly his hard work on and off the field and sacrifice he made along the way have paid off, and there's been a clear progression at every junction so far, right from academy right up to senior pro football, and that's only going to continue. He's played in 3 countries along the way, top youth academies. He's been at top league sides in the US and the UK, senior football at a young age, doing it the hard way, progressing and improving all the time, getting valuable first team minutes along the way, each time stepping up and making it all count and bringing it together when he has to, and taking opportunities when they arise. So yeah, he's definitely well on course, and now he's at a strong second tier US side. Obviously this isn't the peak of his career, only the beginning. At 21 he has a full career ahead of him, and what a position to be in. Next steps in the near future, obviously options are MLS, whether that is via staying at Indy or a move to another franchise if Indy don't get into the MLS. David Beckham, of course, is an owner of Inter Miami and will know him from his Salford days. Also Seattle Sounders, who had him at youth level, they'll be they would have kept tabs on him as well, and keeping an eye on his ability and his performance on the field it's not just gonna be his ability and performances on the field, which is enough, but outside of that, he's got a reputation now of putting in the groundwork, putting in the time, the effort, the focus. These are all abilities, you can't really teach. Hardens a player, and he has razor focus. So yeah, the US MLS is the obvious next step for him, but it's not the only step for him. He could go back to the UK, where he's really been at a fair few clubs, and a lot of people will have seen him his time there. No doubt they will have been keeping an eye on his development, and where he is now they'll be all impressed, and there'll be probably suitors there looking to get him back as well. Obviously other leagues as well will be in the waiting too. If you liked the video, send us a subscribe, like, comment. We'd love to hear from you, and as always, we'll be watching.